I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts. I'd like to be a queen of people's hearts in people's hearts.
I thought I would take this time to explain the 8 different English Gematria forms that currently exist and comprise as an authenticated whole. The first, known as Standard English Gematria, or SEG, uses the exact same numbering system as Standard Hebrew Gematria, whereby the first 10 letters are assigned the numbers 1 to 10, and then the count shifts to increments of 10, and then after reaching 100, increments of 100, up until the 26th letter Z, whereby the count ends at 800. The symbol for this Gematria system looks like this. It should be noted that there are 4 additional English letters over Hebrew, and that this system is also called numerical Gematria, since the letters can be used to represent any number between 1 and 899. The natural pair for Standard English Gematria is Ordinal English Gematria, whereby the letters from the English alphabet are assigned numbers corresponding to their position or order in the alphabet. Thus, A, B, and C have the values 1, 2, and 3, and X, Y, and Z have the values 24, 25, and 26. Ordinal Gematria is all about their order in the alphabet and is also known as simple Gematria, but unlike this name suggests, the results can be anything but simple. The symbol for this Gematria system looks like this. Whilst Standard English Gematria is still fresh in our minds, let us talk about a minor variant of that version of Gematria known as Standard English Gematria Binary, since the last 4 letters, W, X, Y, and Z, have a value of 0. They have a value of 0 since traditionally there are no Hebrew letters beyond the 22nd place. However, there is an exception to this with the 5 letters that have a final form and may be utilized up to the value of 900 in the 27th position. This aside, Standard Hebrew Gematria only goes up to the 22nd place, and the final form letters, when placed at the end of a word, are the same in value as their counterparts, namely Kaf, Mem, Nun, Pei, and Sadi, that have the values 20, 40, 50, 80, and 90 respectively. Tim Cohen discovered that when using this form of Gematria, Prince Charles of Wales in English equals 666, with the W in Wales being the only letter equaling 0, and thus establishing its legitimacy as a form of Gematria, which I will repeat is known as Standard English Gematria Binary. The next Gematria system to look at is known as Latin Gematria, or also known as Pythagoras Gematria. In this system, the letters are assigned only single-digit numbers, and the assignment is reset each time they reach the last single digit, which is the number 9. The system is originally based on the Etruscan or Old Italic script, which has 27 letters in its alphabet and therefore forms a neat table of 3 rows with 9 columns. However, with the English alphabet, this is not achievable. Using Latin Gematria, the numbers that are yielded are usually a smaller set than any other Gematria system, and as a consequence, significant numbers usually result in matches with other Gematria-derived numbers, rather than the number 666. The 5th Gematria system I will now explore is what the Gematrix website calls Jewish Gematria. I have been calling it Old English Gematria because of the unusual allocation of numbers to the letters J, V and W, which were added to the English alphabet around 1630 AD. I believe that Gematrix calls it Jewish Gematria simply because the numbering is similar to standard Hebrew Gematria, as I referenced earlier, which, may I remind you, has increments of 1, 10 and 100. With regard to Jewish Old English Gematria, imagine, if you will, the letters J, V and W being added to the end of what was at the time a 23-letter English alphabet, and their numbering being in accordance with an increment of 100 after the letter Z, which had a value of 500, resulting in J and V having a value of 600 and 700 respectively. The additional complication to all this is the pre-existent, however now defunct, letter ampersand that pushes the value of W from 800 to 900, since it was a part of the English alphabet at the time and was technically considered as the 27th letter of the English alphabet after the inclusion of J, V and W. The 6th Gematria system is suitably a multiple of 6 of the Ordinal Gematria system, so that instead of A, B and C equaling 1, 2 and 3, they equal 6, 12 and 18. And instead of X, Y and Z equaling 24, 25 and 26, they equal 144, 150 and 156. Since King Harry and King Henry both equal 666 using this system, it is believed that when Prince Harry, now known as the Duke of Sussex, is fully king of the world, that at the same time the word computer, which also equals 666 using this Gematria system, will come into full effect as a device of evil, whilst at this present time it is not. According to Revelation chapter 13, this day is 42 months, counting back from Yom Kippur 2024 to the 4th of April 2021. It is on this day that the mark of the beast will become mandatory, or, in the words of the United Nations, come into force. Now, the last two forms of English Gematria are known as Cardinal English Gematria. In this system, the English spelling of the number is used based on the corresponding order of the letter in question, with the value for each letter in that spelling being exchanged for either ordinal or standard values. For Cardinal Standard English Gematria, the number 1 has a value of 115, since the letters O, N and E that spell the word one have the values 60, 50 and 5 respectively, which, if added together, total 115. Since A is the letter that corresponds to the number 1, it then has a value of 115. For Cardinal Ordinal English Gematria, the number 1 has a value of 34, since the letters O, N and E that spell the word one have the values 15, 14 and 5 respectively, which, if added together, total 34. Since A is the letter that corresponds to the number 1, it then has a value of 34. Each number therefore has its own unique number to identify it in either system, with the exception of the letters E and I, which have the positions 5 and 9 in the alphabet, and both have a value of 42. Likewise, with the exception of the letters G and O, which have the positions 7 and 15 in the alphabet, and both have a value of 65 in the Cardinal Ordinal English Gematria system only. Another system could be devised with the nomenclature of Ordinal Standard English Gematria, or Ordinal English Gematria, where the spelling of the words first, second, third, etc. are used instead of the spelling of the words 1, 2, 3, etc., which are used as is the case for cardinal numbers. So, I have explained all that to make this point. Using all 8 English Gematria systems described, the phrase Harry People's Prince, Diana People's Princess, Diana Queen of Hearts, has a grand Gematria total of 46,656, which has the factors 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, or incredibly 6 to the power of 6.